already in your bylaws, you do not have to change your bylaws.
So I mean, we can make it 16, we can make it 14.
Yeah.
It can go down to 12, but doesn't have to.
Yeah, the lowest it can go is to 12. But as I said, they came up with that idea because what they were thinking that maybe the schools will want to get young people interested. I don't see it, but.
Eric, thank you very much. All right, we have one more community speaker. Mark Morris asked that this gentleman be put on the agenda as a community speaker. What Mark is planning to do as a faith-based director is try to bring in some of the leadership from our religious organizations within the boundaries, and do that every other month or so, just to introduce themselves and help with the networking and the cross support that's necessary for projects and that kind of thing. So I'd like to bring up Michael McMurrow, who's the minister for the Center for Spiritual Living on Chatsworth. And Michael, introduce yourself and your community speakers, so you have whatever time you need, sir.
Oh, well, I am.
You're not limited to 2 minutes.
Dangerous. So, how are you all? Thanks for asking me to be here. So, first of all, I wanted to just, it's nice to be here because I also serve on the bid. I'm the second vice president. I serve with Bonnie and John and a few other folks that you know. And so it gives me an opportunity to say thank you for your generous support for the town clock and the White Oak project and just various things that you've been doing, and along with Mr. Ingham's office there. So, and the tree lights were really cool this year. So thanks for that. So. I am from the Center for Spiritual Living. I am the senior minister there. We've been there since 1978. We're a storefront location next door to Leslie's Pools, across from O'Grady's Pub, if that helps you.
Does that help you?
Yeah, well, right after the service, that's where we go. Hopefully I'm not driving anyone to drink. So, if you are a member of a mainline church, we're the Heretics on 20 on Chatsworth Street. But we are an open and affirming spiritual community who welcomes all who practice their beliefs and faith and love. And also we have our facilities available for rentals. It has, if you have a YouTube channel, then you would be able to live stream meetings or presentations. We have high def cameras if you want, if you want to film a presentation, a professional presentation of some kind. And on Sundays, we have a couple services. We have a meditation group that meets on Tuesdays and Wednesday evenings. And I've just open invitation for anyone. The meditation is non-denominational, and if you're getting a little stirred up with the stuff over on White Oak and not White Oak, Sacramento, the project that you just right, or any of the other stuff that's going on. There's a conversation going on nationally that may have you stirred up. Meditation can help with that, right? So if you've been looking for, maybe you don't know how, maybe you prefer to do it in groups, so we do that on Wednesday night. You're most welcome. I'm usually there Mondays through Thursdays, and you're most welcome to stop by. I usually am there from 12 to 5. So stop in, say hello, and thanks for the time.
Thank you for attending. One question here from Mr. Dunlap.
So there's a flyer. I'm sorry. There's a flyer or something we can grab for this, or
I don't know. Did you bring in flyers for the
thing
tonight?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you have a card or?
I do have cards.
Great. I'll take one.
Okay. And we do have a website and so forth, so you can.
So
You might have made a sale.
Yeah, you'll see it on Facebook a little bit later.
I need Jesus.
Pre-sales. Look at this. You guys
Cost
see
everything.
Calvin Ford is looking for you.
7 o'clock on Wednesday nights. And then, what? So someone was asking me about the meditation. We have guided meditation 6:30 on Tuesday and group meditation on Wednesday night.
So,
Yes.
in the,
No,
on the mission of getting rallying up faith-based organizations
Yes.
within the boundaries, are you a member of Demonstrator's Collegiate Council?
I am not. I
Yeah.
try to stay below the radar, actually, but yeah,
So-
that doesn't mean I wouldn't be.
Right, each one of the police stations has a faith-based, sort of like a faith-based CPAC.
Yes.
And so if you reach out to, you have Dario's information. If you reach out to Dario, he can connect you up with that, and we're always looking to expand our collegiate councils. That might be a great place for you to make those connections and bring them here.
Yeah, well, I just want to say, when Mark called me, I was relieved when he told me that he was the director, because I thought he was going to ask me to do that. So,
You got him a long time ago.
yeah. So anyway, good to meet you all.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
All right, one other thing that I forgot to mention about the 440 project. And I think, Joel, you asked about, or maybe, no, I think it was Eric, about, when of these folks coming back with
He's
revised
talking out
plans.
of order now on this.
What they showed us
440
today was a
project
very,
again.
very rough draft, frankly. It was enough to
The Brown
to
Act
understand.
violation.
They said they were gonna need at least a week, probably more like 2, to do it. So what we tentatively worked out was, once they have those plans finalized, that they would notify the council office, who in turn will notify the 440 group, and they will put together a meeting, just a general meeting. Following that, I suggested that we have a joint plum committee meeting between Granada Hills North and South. And at that meeting, we can also invite the public. And then each committee can make a recommendation to the full board for April for revise. Now, our motion was simply, I believe, to support Granada Hills North, but we did say we opposed the plan as proposed, was the language. So we'll want to go in and revisit it, I think, and have the Plum Committee come back with a revised recommendation. Yes, Joel?
Yeah, we committed up to $3,000.
I don't think that'll be necessary now. Yeah, so we probably unencumbered that. What was expected is that there probably will still be someone who appeals this. It's a very short, small filing fee, but the developer was just concerned that, that everybody agreed that we reached a pretty good compromise. Obviously, there's still some problems with the project. And I already stated what my preference would have been, but, there's gonna be something there. And so you get the
There's
best,
already something there.
This is out of order.
you get the best deal that you can get, right? Okay. So, with that, and I just want to mention that so that it would come as a surprise if we, put it out as a joint plum meeting. Let's go to number 7 on the agenda, which is board issues. And let's start with appointment and confirmation of Brandon Schindelheim as business director. Brandon asked me to put this on the agenda because he thought it would be easier if he was appointed in a business director position for us to fill a at-large position. And that makes sense. If you want to hold off on this until next month, hold on, we don't have a motion yet. We can do that, or we can just go ahead and make the motion. But he's right in terms of it does make it easier to fill the position, on that large position. But what's the sense of the neighborhood council? Do you want to make a motion, or you want to make a motion to defer to the next meeting, given Brandon's absence?
Do it now. Do it.
Do it now.
Motions.
All right, motion to appoint.
Good point.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Captain Graham. Any public comment on this?
Is it made by Mr. Lyle?
Yes, made by Mr. Lyle, seconded by Captain Graham. Yes, Eric?
Being that this is supposed to be in our bylaws, and we don't have this position as part of our bylaws. Wouldn't it be prudent to wait until, and add this at?
We do have this position in our bylaws.
Huh?
We do have a business director. He was vacated by Jerry Eskew.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay,
Remember?
so, remember Jerry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
How soon they forget. That's all I can say.
Out of
All right.
sight, out of mind.
So, any other public comment? All right, hearing none, we'll open discussion. First of all, anyone in favor that wants to speak on this motion? Anyone against that wants to speak on this motion? Well, I think we're ready for
Yep.
a vote. Yes, I think we can take the vote. All right. Mike, I'm going to ask that we do a roll call on this, please. So this would be item 7A.
Point of order, Mr. President.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it necessary to do a name by name if it's going to be unanimous?
Well, we don't know it's going to be unanimous.
Well,
But yeah, I think just because it is an appointment, I'd like to see the roll call. All right, are you ready, Michael? Ready, go.
Dave Beauvais.
Yes.
Michael Benedetto.
yes.
Jeffrey Bohrer.
Yes.
Bonnie Bursk.
Yes.
Julie Carson is absent. Jett Dunlap.
Yes.
John Graham.
Yes?
Justin Kim.
Say,
Abstain for Justin. Sally Kolstad.
Yes.
Ron Lopez.
Yes.
Deron Lopez is absent. Joel Lyle.
yes.
Anthony Matthews is absent. Mark Morris is absent. Brandon Schindelheim is now absent. Brad Smith.
Yes.
Rene Trinidad is absent. Andrew Wall.
Yes.
And Cindy Wu-Freeman is absent. For the record, 11 in favor.
And one abstention?
And 1 abstention.
All right. Who was abstaining? Oh, Justin Kim. You got that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so 7B is a neighborhood purpose grant for Friends of the Library in the amount of $3,000 to purchase books and other materials and supplies for the Granada Hills Library. Someone here tonight from the library? Okay, let's make the motion first, and then we'll bring you up for just a few minutes. I'm going to make the motion myself. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Benedetto.
I read books.
Good.
You want to come up and
Sure.
speak on the motion as a member of the public to start?
Okay, Council.
My name is Rhea Rice, and I'm a member of the Friends of the Granada Hills Library. I've been a member for 7 years. And I'm actually in charge of the book sales that we do, which is our main fundraiser. By the way, we are having one coming up in 2 weeks with great prices. I would like to thank the council for the support that you have given us in the past. It's made a big difference to us. And once again, we are requesting your support. We do use the money to buy books that are of particular interest to the community. I don't know if you know the way the library system works, but what they do is they give the library so much money and they give them a list of here's the books that you may buy this month. So they have to work off of the list that comes from downtown, which may not necessarily be what our particular community is interested in. And right now we have been buying books to replace the children's books that are so popular and so well read and getting ratty. So we've been doing that so far this year, and we'll be continuing to do that.
Thank you. Any other public comment? I don't see public comment, so let's open this up for discussion by board members. Anyone speaking first in favor? Anyone speaking against? Jeffrey?
Yeah, just, not really sure how much money we have left over. 20,000. We have a very limited amount of time to spend it, as I understand. Is there any reason that we can't bump it a little bit?
You can amend the motion.
Nice.
Okay, amend the motion, bump it up to 4.
All right, is there a second to the amendment? Seconded by Mr. Joel Lyle. Discussion on the amendment. Well, I'm gonna take board discussion.
Okay.
Actually, I guess I could take public discussion on the amendment. Mark, go ahead.
Last year, when we shot that business meeting over there, the library didn't have a PA system available in that room. So if you're gonna give that extra $1,000, I'd like to see that go towards a PA system for future use over there in that library room.
I have to disagree with that. First of all, the library isn't big enough where really a PA system is necessary, and if it were, the amount of times that it's needed is so few and far between. That 1,000 will go a long way in giving kids a daily use of those extra books.
Okay. Any other public comment on the amendment? Mr. Kuzma?
Yeah, and regarding the money, I believe this board allocated some $3,000 to go to Granada Hills North to hire the company that was going to do research on various aspects of the 440 project. It turns out that the company that Granada Hills North was going to hire took on other work during the approval process, and so the North was unable to hire them to do the project that they had intended, so your $3,500 is probably not going to be needed by them.
I think that's already been mentioned. Yeah. Okay, so any other public comment? All right, hearing none, the amendment is for $4,000. We need board discussion. I'll take discussion in favor of first. Anyone want to oppose this amendment? Justin, why?
I'm not a big fan of this arbitrarily raising numbers, like throwing numbers out there. I know it's for a good cause, but if the neighborhood, the friends of the library want $3,000, just give $3,000. Bumping up random numbers doesn't seem right to me. That's just my personal belief.
Okay.
You mean like we did for the robotics for CSUN?
Okay, we don't, no debate. Mr. Dunlap.
Yeah, I kind of made my own personal policy about 2 years ago. I think I talked to you guys about it in the same respect, which is that I want to encourage the folks to come in to ask for the exact amount, and I want to respect the amount they ask for. And I'm not saying that it's arbitrary. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that I think that we serve the community best if we encourage folks prior to them coming in and asking for an amount to ask for the most. And then we can decide whether or not to give them that amount. But I don't like the idea, again, of just, we're at the end of the year, let's put the money out there thing. So that's all.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? I see Bonnie and then Jett.
Yeah, I sort of agree that they asked for $3,000. We don't know that they want to spend $4,000 on books. They're specifically asking for books and other materials, and presumably they would have budgeted a specific amount and had, like, this is how much they want. They've asked other people maybe for donations, and other things are pending. And now it's just without any additional information, we've raised the number, and I don't know why. I don't know what it's to purchase, because it's not coming from the person that came in that asked for it.
Jeffrey?
I've been historically, and everyone on this board knows, I have been historically against the Friends of the Library and voted against every one of their requests since I've been here. What's changed? Well, the first thing I'm going to address Jett over here. When someone comes in and asks for money and we vote to give them more, the fact is this is our community. If they fail, we fail. And because of that, if we have that extra money and we can put it to good use where our community benefits from it, then we benefit from it. I commend the library for coming in and only asking for $3. They don't want to burden us. They're being, I guess, frugal. We have the money. We have to spend the money. I would sure rather spend it on something like library and something for our kids than something frivolous as we've done in the past. We've been very good for the most part about spending money, but this is a worthwhile endeavor. And believe me, if I'm for it, it says a lot.
Any other discussion? Anyone else against?
Can I reply to that, Dave?
This is just more discussion.
Okay.
We've had a couple times. Jett? Second time around.
Yeah.
So you get two shots at the.
Yeah, I just want to reply to that. I'm not anti-community. I'm very much pro-community, and I'm pro-library. I just, like I said in the past, I think that our actions by making it public that we want the organizations that come in to ask for the amount they want, and then again respecting is what I'm saying here, the amount that they request. They may only want 3,000, 4,000 may put them over budget. I'm guessing that the people who come in and ask for money are asking for the maximum. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so, Joel, and then Sally.
I agree with Jeff, not Jeff. These are not businesses that know how to bargain and negotiate. They're coming in and they're asking their bottom line that they are hoping to get from us. All right? If it's a worthwhile cause, as the library is, I see no harm in upping the ante a little and giving them more. If we want people to come in and ask for exactly what they want, Jett, go out and get people to come in and ask for what they want. But at this point in time, I'm sure the library can use the money.
Sally Kolstad.
Working with the library for the last couple of years, they usually ask for more and they don't get it. So I think they've come in at a lower figure so that they will get it. But a lot of times they come in and ask for $5,000, and we always shoot them down to 2 or 3. So I'm all for the 4.
All right, any other discussion before I call for a vote? I don't see any hands.
Well, can we let the library person?
No, we finished with public comment, so I'm going to limit that. Okay, I don't see any other board comment. Let's
Nice try, Connie.
take a vote.
On the amendment.
On the amendment, $4,000, and then we'll take a vote on the amended motion. All right, so this is on the amendment up to 4,000. Michael, are you ready?
This is not a funding motion, this is just to raise the amount.
Okay, you're right, okay. So all those in favor of the amendment, signify by raising your hand, please.
9 in favor.
Opposed? I got 1.
Nope, I'm not opposed, I'm for it.
Okay. Opposed?
Is there an abstention option?
Yes, abstention. We're gonna, 2 abstain. 3 abstain. So it's 9-0-3. Got it? Okay. The motion is now amended from 3 to 4,000, and we will take a roll call on the motion as amended. Thank you, Mr. Parliamentarian, for keeping me straight.
Okay. So this is on the motion item number 7B, amended motion to support the Friends of the Library in an amount of $4,000 via neighborhood purpose grant. Dave Beauvais.
Yes.
Michael Benedetto.
Yes.
Jeffrey Bohrer.
Yes.
Bonnie Burt.
Yes.
Julie Carson is absent. Jett Dunlap.
Yes.
Don Graham.
Yes.
Justin Kim.
Yep.
Sally Kolstad.
Yes.
Don Lopez.
Yes.
Deron Lopez absent. Joel Lyle.
Yes.
Anthony Matthews absent. Mark Morris absent. Brandon Schindelheim absent. Brad Smith.
Yes.
Rene Trinidad absent. Andrew Wall.
Can't vote.
Can't vote. Is ineligible.
Yes.
And Cindy Wu-Freeman absent. 11 in favor.
11 in favor and 1
And 1 ineligible.
All right. David?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. The motion carries. Greer, this means you need to do more work. You understand that?
Yes.
You need to give us another
Next time I'll
MPG.
come in and ask for what we really need.
Well, next time just bring,
We
well,
didn't want to be too greedy, you know.
that's fine. We did get an extra $5,000 in funding, so you're the beneficiary of that tonight.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You may not catch me in such a good mood next year.
Not this time.
Which was really surprising.
Because he's in a really good mood almost all the time. You will need to fill out another neighborhood purpose grant
Yes.
for the revised amount.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and send that to Brandon
Okay.
as soon as you can.
I will do it tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to 7C, which is a special meeting for discussion and possible board action on the bylaws for a special March 16th meeting to be held here in Raleigh Hall at 6:30 p.m. I will make the motion, and it is seconded by Mr. Benedetto. I will open this up for public comment. Mr. Kuzma.
Why do I need to say it louder?
I use the only current authorized edition of the classic work of Parliamentary Procedures, Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, 11th edition. This one was printed in 2013.
Does the library have a copy of that?
I think the
Probably.
library only has a copy of the 2010 version the last time I checked.
But
So
now they can.
this
Now we
is
can
the-
buy it, yes.
This is the newest version. You know, this book of parliamentary procedure talks a lot about how bylaws should be done in a society or a parliamentary body like this is. It talks about having in your original bylaws a procedure for revising your bylaws, how it should be done. The general thing is, and you're kind of doing it tonight by saying, announcing at this meeting that you're going to have another meeting to discuss and make changes to the bylaws. What's problematic for me is when the next meeting comes, we're still not going to have anything in writing. Public will only get one comment. So if the discussion goes back and forth on a point, there may not be the opportunity to have a really open discussion on the changes that are being made. There's, you know, so I'm kind of hoping that when you have your special meeting, that rather it be a special meeting to make the changes themselves, to make preliminary changes, create a red line version of the bylaws, which have not been revised by this neighborhood council since 2009. The last subsequent versions have been imposed on the neighborhood council by Dunn after the neighborhood council failed to revise them when they were supposed to. So, I mean, this is a really big task that needs to be taken on. We also have to create standing rules at the same time, because our bylaws reflect standing rules, but there is no standing rules. So there's a lot of inconsistencies, there's a lot of changes. There was a grievance panel report that was reviewed by the executive board of this committee in January of 2014 that has at least 10 different items that were supposed to go to the bylaws committee for review and revision to be possibly considered into the neighborhood council bylaws. And what I haven't seen yet is any of those things come up and be incorporated. There was one meeting once, and when I tried to bring it up, those committee members decided that those weren't important. They had their own agenda, and that was it. So I'd like to, and also because of conversation that I've already heard, there's talk about changing board structure. Now, the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment and the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners have to approve any kind of bylaws that are going to propose a change in board structure. And part of that approval process is having a red line version of your bylaws revisions for them to approve. So I think it would be prudent in the long run that we do this professionally and in a way that the public and the board members know exactly what changes are proposed before they become voted on as final changes. I understand it's a process, you gotta vote, well, we wanna do this, but we'll say we want to do this, and then we'll put it all together in the red line version, then we'll review the red line version and make our final approvals. This is why Robert's Reporter says it really should be a 2-meeting process, because some people don't make both meetings on a board, and these are serious changes you're making. So please consider some of these things in your process, and just as a closing point, page 363 in my book, Taking Up Business Out of Its Proper Order, talks about the rules and having a vote before taking something out of order.
Thank you. Let me just address a couple things. One being that because you filed a Brown Act violation for the Bylaws Committee, the advice from our city attorney was to do this at a special meeting and for it to come as board issues rather than recommendations from the bylaws committee. Had we been able to do it in that order, that technically is the first meeting, and then the second meeting under our structure would be the meeting where the board acts. However, each of the changes on the agenda will be separate, and we will take board public comment on each of those changes, not just one board comment at the beginning. So I'll alert everyone to that right now. That's why we're holding a special meeting, so that we will have the time for public input as well as board input. The question before us now, and the motion and the second, is simply should we have a special meeting on on March 16th. Is there any other public comment? Yes.
Yeah. Just to correct some of the things that Mr. Kuzman was alluded to. There were a number of changes that we've made,
Yes.
and a number of changes that have come from Dunn itself. Dunn is so short-staffed that a lot of those changes were not incorporated, and they were supposed to be done by Dunn. Whenever Dunn makes changes automatically to our bylaws for whatever procedure is supposed to be done, during the next midsection that I think takes place in June and July, staff is supposed to make those changes to our bylaws themselves, especially if it didn't come from the neighborhood council. If it came from Dunn or Bunk or the city council, which a number of them have done, then they're supposed to be changed from Dunn and their staff. They don't have a staff anymore. In fact, the staff that they've had over the last 5 or 6 years, people come into that office, a staff, and they use it as a stepping stone to other departments in the city. That's why right now, Dunn has said at their last bank meeting that they were down 9 staff members, 9 permanent staff members that they're still looking to fill. And that's been going on for the last 3 or 4 years.
All right, but the question is whether or not we're going to have a special meeting.
All I'm trying to do is correct.
I understand, but that's not really relevant to the issue at hand. All right, so any board discussion? I don't see anybody raising their hand. Justin?
Will there be enough people? Because I know I won't be able to make that meeting.
I'm hoping there will be enough people. I will canvass, but we have the room reserved already. Okay, and that's the first step. Making sure you have a meeting place. So if you know tonight that you won't be able to attend the meeting, I would appreciate knowing. But we will definitely need at least 11 there, and hopefully we'll get that number. Okay, so I don't see any other hands. Let's take a vote. We can just do this with a hand vote. All those in favor of holding the special meeting for the bylaws on the 16th, March 16th, raise your hand, please. I see everybody's hand up. It's unanimous. Okay, so it's 12-0-0. Okay, thank you. All right, that motion carries. We're going to go to committee reports. Planning and land use. Unfortunately, we did not have a quorum Monday night for a planning and land use meeting. Cindy is out of town. John is at another meeting tonight. So we're going to skip the report on planning and land use. Outreach, Mr. Benedetto, you have one motion here, as well as perhaps a short report.
I'll go with the report first, just to let you know, since Mr. Lopez is not here, we're going to have a joint public safety meeting on March 21st. We're going to have a an aggressive program on safety right here in Granada Hills, including bins. We're going to talk about coyotes. We're going to talk about numerous things, getting ready for earthquakes and whatnot. Also, on April 7th, we're going to have a forum. We already voted on this. We're going to have a forum on the Aliso Canyon to update. As a matter of fact, Millie, that's another one that I'd like to invite Mitch to.
What's the date on that?
April 7th, and I will notify Cindy as well. So I just wanted to put that out there. Another big concern. With regards to item B1, I'd like to make a motion of up to $100 for the Valley Alliance Neighborhood Council homelessness event scheduled for March 27th, right here at Raleigh Hall at 6:30. Is there a second?
Seconded by Mr. King.
Okay, public comment? Seeing none, board comment? Seeing none.
Are we going to be doing this in conjunction with any other neighborhood councils?
Yes, all
All of the
Valley Alliance.
Valley Alliance, yeah, 34 neighborhood councils and all.
Okay, that's gonna be helpful.
Yes,
Okay.
I want to make it closer. Any,
If I don't have that stoplight, I'll be okay.
any other comments?
Are
Yes.
you actually hosting, are
Yes.
you the organizer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you keep us posted?
Any other comments? Seeing none, let's go for a roll
call.
Yes.
Okay, this is for item number 8B, $100.
8B1. This is the way I was asked by the secretary to put it down.
8B1.
You notice I complied with both the secretary and the minutes writer's request. Very welcome. Just go to the record.
8B1 to support bank to the amount of $100 for that agenda item. So, Dave Beauvais.
I have, yes.
Michael Benedetto.
Yes.
Jeffrey Bohrer.
Yes.
Bonnie Bursk.
Yes.
Julie Carson, absent. Jett Dunlap.
Yes.
Don Graham.
Yes.
Justin Kim.
Yes.
Sally Kolstad. Don Lopez.
Yes.
Deron Lopez, absent. Joel Lyle.
Yes.
Anthony Matthews, absent. Mark Morris, absent. Brandon Schindelheim, absent. Brad Smith.
Yes.
Rene Trinidad, absent. Andrew Wall, if ineligible. And Cindy Wu-Freeman, absent. 11 in favor. No abstentions.
Motion passed.
Who didn't vote? We have 12.
We have an ineligible.
Oh, ineligible, okay, 11. Thank you. Michael, anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
That's the shortest outreach item.
Best one.
Wow.
Keep it up. Maybe you can beat your record next month.
All right.
Yeah. Joel, do you have any report from you?
I'm gonna beat Michael up about the service of time. I apologize to my Canadian boards that I've been overloading the election.
Okay, thank you. We are at the point where we are going to go to board member comments. This is item 9, any submission of agenda items. Justin, I'm going to start with you tonight. Anything?
That's okay.
Bonnie Bursk, anything?
Received it today.
Ms. Kolstad?
Mr. Taylor,
I'd like to request
in an email.
Billy, did you catch that?
No, sir, I'm busy.
Say it again, please.
I'd like to request we get a briefing from CD12 on the status of the pool project. It's already in the spring.
Granada Hills,
Oh, okay, I just don't have any update right now.
No, but for next month.
We'll look for one for next month, yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Don? No? Don? The other Don?
20 years ago, Tuesday, was the North Hollywood shootout. And so the officers and the city officials regathered at North Hollywood to remember that piece as a defining moment in the modern definition of the soul of the police academy. So it's also with sadness that we have to go tomorrow to the funeral services for the wounded officer. That was good. So as we adjourn tonight, if we could, think about the courage that was displayed 20 years ago in our own city, and feel compassion for another community who lost one of their community.
Jett?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I was proud of myself tonight. I thought you guys should all know that. When I had an objection to raising the money based on my principles, I heard people I respect and worked with on this council for 5 years make points that made sense to me, and I changed my vote. And I think that that's something we should all look at, is that I felt that their decisions why made more sense than my decisions why not to. And I think that's cool.
It's called democracy, right?
Yeah.
It's called being married, Chad.
Well,
first
off.
Yeah, I got used to that, yeah.
All right.
First off, I'd like to acknowledge, thank, and take my hat off to Jett for that. You're not the only one who changed their position on something tonight. So, thank you. I'm done. I'm not being paid by the hour. Go ahead.
So last one. David, do you have anything? I normally skip you, but I'll give you a shot. Mr. Benedetto?
I just want to say I'm also proud of Jett and Jeffrey. I hope the revisions to the 292 doesn't affect the cost of the pizza. And
Sinatra lives.
And that's it.
Thank you. I'll just close by, first of all, thanking everyone that made it here tonight. You know, we have a board of 19. Again, I'm hoping to bring that up to 20 or 21 very shortly. But it just shows the importance of being here if you can possibly be here. You know, we have like 3 or 4 people out of town on business tonight. Brandon apparently wasn't faking when he said he was sick. Unless he's a really better actor than
I hope I don't get sick.
Yeah, you probably will. And then we had Mark attending another meeting on our behalf. So, you know, it really brings home the importance of attendance and the importance of being here if you possibly can. So, again, thank you. Kudos to the 13 of us that made it, and I include Brandon with that. The agenda for the special meeting is already completed, believe it or not. I worked on that right after the regular agenda, and I'm going to send that out to the board for their perusal. The agenda will go out. Normally, a special meeting only needs 24 hours of notification, but we are going to give it 72 hours. So that agenda will be posted on the Friday before the Wednesday of the meeting. Hopefully it will move along as smoothly as we can make it. But I expect to have a robust and honest discussion about the proposed changes. I don't know how long it's going to take. Once I got it down, it seemed to me that maybe it wouldn't take, you know, as long as I had originally thought. But that's what I'm looking for the 16th. If you cannot make it, Justin, thank you ahead of time for notifying me, because anyone else is going to be out of town on business. Otherwise, have a conflict. If you can resolve that conflict and be here, I said those previous comments to set up for the 16th. We need to have a quorum to make those changes. All right, I will accept the motion to adjourn. So made. So made by Mr. Bohrer. Is there a second by Mr. Benedetto? All those in favor, voice vote, please. Aye. Anyone want to stay?
No, they got a second.
Okay, I got a second. You second. Okay. Oh, Millie. Thank you, Millie. Good night. We're adjourned. 8. Yeah, man. Thank you.